all of us rise. That's the spirit that built this chamber, and it's the spirit in this room today. And that brings me to why we're all here, the Tamil Venture Zone. The Tamil Venture Zone is a Tamil incubator, our home for the boldest founders in our community, and today marks our 4th annual pitch competition. 4 years of founders standing on the stage, putting their vision on the line, and walking away further than they came in. Let me be clear about what we're really chasing here. Our mission is simple, and it's big. We want to help build the first Tamil unicorn, a billion-dollar company that started with one of us in a room like this, and when that day comes, and it will, we want Chamber and the TVZ to have been part of that story, part of the journey. Our job is to build the environment that makes it possible, the capital, the mentorship, the network, the belief. So today isn't just a competition, it's a glimpse of what's coming. Now to guide us through the morning, we're in exceptionally good hands. Our Master of Ceremonies is a CEO and a globally recognized communication strategist with over 15 years of high-level experience across international media and strategic advisory. As a Tier 1 journalist, she has covered major geopolitical and economic events and produced award-winning investigative journalism that has helped shape public discourse. Please join me in welcoming our Master of Ceremonies, Ms. Kumudha Ramanathan.
Good morning, everyone. Such a pleasure to see you all. I mean, this event itself is a beacon of light, really, for our community. I remember taking part a few years ago, and it was small, it was intimate, but now look at the space we're in, the crowd we've attracted. This all goes down to all of the hard work Mohan and Brody and Agobi have done in terms of scaling this venture. So really, let's give them a round of applause. For myself, in leveraging my experience in media to now launch a business, I know entrepreneurship is really not for the faint of heart. You wake up every morning, you're eating broken glass, you've got clients who are angry at you, you're trying to figure it out. You don't know why you chose this path, but you still continue to go down it. I think what is most defining about everyone in the room is that traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississauga, the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit, and the Williams Treaties, signed with multiple Mississaugas and the Chippewa communities. We acknowledge this land and the people because the first step to reconciliation is recognizing the enduring presence and resilience of Indigenous peoples in this region for time immemorial. Important step for building positive relationships with Indigenous peoples. Thank you so much. Everyone, please have a seat. At this time, I'd like to ask everyone to pull out their smartphones and open up your camera and aim it at that screen over there. You can see the virtual program booklet for today's event. Give you all a few minutes. Okay, so while we're getting that done, I'd like to welcome Ari, the current president of CTCC, to the stage to deliver the welcome address.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். Good morning, everyone. What a spectacular sight to behold, not just in this room, but across every screen joining us today. I see Canadians here in person, and I see our Sri Lankan family on Zoom. Two countries, one movement, limitless possibilities. My name is Ari A. Ariyaran, President of the Canadian Tamil Chamber of Commerce, and it's my honor to welcome to the Tamil Venture Zone Pitch Day, Year 4. Last year, we talked about potential. This year, we are talking about proof. Today is different. Our 10 finalists are not drawn from one city. They span Sri Lanka and Canada. We have coders, we have builders, we have farmers and retailers. Some of you write software, and some of you put food on tables and roofs over heads. Every one of you belongs on this stage. We hear all the time that tech is the future. That's true. But so is service. So it's trade. So is manufacturing and logistics. TVZ has never asked you to choose one path. We ask you to build together because the software founders needs the logistics expert and the retailers needs the fintech wizard. You are stronger together than any of you could ever alone. Entrepreneurship is hard and it can be lonely. I know that from experience, and I suspect most people in this room do so. But look around you today. Everyone gathered here wants you to win. To our 10 finalists, the judges will score you decks. I am scoring your courage. You built something from nothing, and you showed up. In my eyes, you have already won. None of this happens alone. This year, we stand on the shoulders of sponsors who said yes to Tamil innovation, to Scarborough Convention Center for once again housing our dreams, to the Selvanayam Foundation for believing in legacy, to Sundarlingam Professional Corporation, Vetivel Law, and Nava Wilson LLP for protecting our ideas, to Scott Syria, IGPWM, and WealthBridge for helping us fund the future, to Walter Asset Management and Remtree for moving capital across borders seamlessly, to Intel Edge, Elliston, 6DC, and Avento for building the physical and digital roads we travel, and to our little title holders and volunteers, Mohan Markandeyer, Gobi Brody, and the entire CTCC and CTPA team. None of this exists without you. So finalists, listen, when you set up to that microphone today, don't just show me slides. Tell me about the problem you are trying to solve. Tell me why it matters. Then use the rest of the day wisely. Find your co-founder, find your mentor, find your first customer, find your investor. They might be sitting beside you right now. The Canadian Tamil Chamber of Commerce exists, so the 10 years from now, when we look back at the Tamil Business Diaspora, we will be saying turning point was 2026. The year we stopped asking for permission and started writing our own rules. And 10 years from now, I hope many of us can say we were in this room when it all started. Good luck and welcome to the Tamil Venture Zone. Now, I would like to call upon Gobi Brody, the program director, to take over from me. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. How are we all doing today? Awesome. Love the energy. So for those who don't know, my name is Gobi Brody, and I have the honor of being the executive director at the Tamil Venture Zone. The Tamil Venture Zone is a nonprofit incubator program empowering Tamil entrepreneurs across Canada and Sri Lanka. We do this by offering an 8-week incubator program. Just give me a second. An incubator program that includes educational webinars on a weekly basis on a variety of business topics, mentorship sessions where our founders can come and meet our problems they are facing in their business and speed track the road to overcoming them. Get connected with our community of support and access to our investors, to fellow builders, and other community resources from other startups, incubators in the city, all through our program. And finally, the reason we're all here today, the finale pitch competition, where we not only celebrate the 10 finalists you heard from today, we are here to celebrate all of the founders that participate in this room today and have actually set up booths around this venue near the back. So I highly encourage all of you to take some time afterwards to stop by each booth, speak to the founders, hear how they're appreciated. Since the Tamil Venture Zone launched in 2023, we have been able to have an incubator given away over $50,000 in grant money, have increased our female participation rate to 25%, have over 100 mentors in our network. Our 2026 cohort had the highest number of founders we've ever had at 79. This consisted of 60% of our founders working on tech companies and 30% working on non-tech companies. This cohort is actually not the first one that the Tamil Venture Zone has run in this year alone. In January of this year, we were proud to partner with DMZ, which is the largest incubator program in the country, and also with that's out to launch the GRIT program. The GRIT program, which stands for Growth, Resilience, Investment, and Training, is a groundbreaking boot camp designed to strengthen in northern Sri Lanka. was an amazing program that really touched our heart from everyone in the organization. Northern Sri Lanka, and they partnered with the biggest incubator company in the country to execute this. But of course, they were figuring out how can we get Connect Tamil Venture Zone fit right in perfectly. So we were able to run an incubator program just like this one, consisting of webinars, mentorship sessions, and prizes, like how the founders today are, the cash prizes. They were competing for something much more valuable. Three of them have won in all North American partners to learn how they can expand their business to Western markets, and also to connect with the Tamil diaspora to see which connections they can make here to continue to grow their business and find investors. So this will be happening. They will be arriving from July 1st to July 14th, and the Tamil Venture Zone will be definitely involved in helping facilitate any connections that with as many connections as we can to ensure their time here is. So all of you will be sent more information on this in the coming weeks as we find out who exactly is coming and the exact program details. So please stay tuned for that. The DMZ is to be an investor in these small businesses, what you should look for, assess your own risk appetite, and what it's like to actually invest in small businesses. Amongst others, will be presenting, and it'll be there where you can further decide whether you want to actually write a check and support these companies grow. Next I'm going to be showing a video to hear a bit more about the GRIT program and the impact we were able to make in Sri Lanka.
As entrepreneurs, driven, resourceful people building real businesses and ready to grow. Growth, resilience, investment and training, also known as GRIT, exists to accelerate that because the right support at the right time changes the scale of what's possible. GRIT is a 6 development program operating across the 5 districts of Sri Lanka's northern province: Jaffna, Vavuniya, Mannar, Mullaitivu, and Kilinochchi. Now in its 4th year, GRIT works directly with a particular focus on women entrepreneurs to help them grow sustainably, access markets, and build the confidence to lead. This year, GRIT partnered with the DMZ, one of the world's leading startup incubators and accelerators based in Toronto, and Tamil Venture Zone, a diaspora-driven initiative connecting entrepreneurs globally to bring their online bootcamp to 9 female founders from the North. A key part of the program was matching each founder with volunteer mentors and coaches from the Canadian diaspora, leaders and practitioners who brought real business experience to the table.
வாடிக்கையாளர் அணுகல் முறை எப்படி நாங்கள் ஹேண்டில் பண்ணுவோம் அப்படியான விஷயங்கள், பிஸ்னஸில் A to Z என்னென்ன விஷயங்கள் நாங்கள் பார்க்கணும் என்ற வரைக்கும் எங்களுக்கு மென்டரிங் செய்தவங்க வந்து இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் லெவலில் பிஸ்னஸ் செய்து கொண்டிருக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ அவங்க எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் வந்து எங்களுக்கு ஒரு பெரிய ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லாக இருந்தது. டிரெக்டாக இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் லெவல் அதாவது நிறைய நெட்வொர்க் இஸ் அ நெட்வொர்க்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ இதில் எங்களுக்கு மிக ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்டாக கிடைச்சது வந்து நெட்வொர்க். அவங்களோட அனுபவங்கள் எப்படி அவங்க பிஸ்னஸை கொண்டு போகிறாங்க, அவங்களுடைய நாங்களும் அந்த லெவலுக்கு நாங்களும் போகணுமெண்டு
புத்தாக்கமான ஒரு பயிற்சியாக இருந்தது. அது மட்டும் இல்லாமல் ஒரு பிஸ்னஸை ஆரம்பித்து நாங்கள் கொண்டு போகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி முதல்ல நாங்கள் எதை செய்யணும், கடைசியாக எதை அப்படின்ற விஷயத்த வந்து விளக்கமாக ஒரு ப்ராக்டிக்கலாக செய்யக்கூடிய மாதிரி இந்த ட்ரைனிங் வந்து எங்களுக்கு அமைஞ்சது. வணிக வளர்ச்சியை பற்றி மற்றவங்கள்ட்ட வந்து நாங்கள் எடுத்து வைக்கும்போது எங்களுடைய வணிக வளர்ச்சியோட திட்டத்தை வந்து செல்ஃப் கான்ஃபிடன்ஸாக வந்து நாங்கள் மற்றவங்க முன்னிலைப்படுத்தும் போது எங்களுக்கு ஒரு தன்னம்பிக்கை ஏற்படுத்தினது. நாங்களே ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் ரெடி பண்ணி லாங்குவேஜ் தெரியாத ஒரு இடத்துல வந்து நாங்கள் முன்வைக்கும் போது எங்களோட ஃபோக்கஸ் வந்து 2 லைனில் இருந்தாலும் அதை வந்து விளக்கமாக கொண்டு போய் இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் லெவலுக்கு வந்து எங்களால் முடியும் அப்படின்ற ஒரு தன்னம்பிக்கை ஏற்படுத்தக்கூடிய மாதிரி இருந்தது.
These 9 founders represent something bigger than their individual businesses. They are proof that the drive and the ideas and and that with the right support, they can compete on any stage. This boot camp was made possible through the collaboration of World University Service of Canada, DMC, and Tamil Venture Zone. It is a powerful example of how partnerships between local entrepreneurs and the diaspora can create meaningful opportunities and drive sustainable growth.
ஃபுட் கேமோட ஒரு வார்த்தையில் நான் சொல்லணும்னா இது வந்து பிஸ்னஸோட கேம் சேஞ்சராக இருக்குது.
We are deeply grateful for the support, mentorship, and guidance that these founders have received throughout the program and continue to receive as they advance their entrepreneurial journeys. If you want to connect with these founders as a customer, a mentor, an investor, or simply someone who believes in what's being built here, we'd love to make that introduction.
What an amazing video. It's so great to hear from those founders, to see what an impact that our program is able to have. And a major shout out and thank you goes to all of the mentors that were able to participate in the Tamil Venture Zone, but also more specifically for the GRIT program. You can clearly see how just a small investment in your time can have a huge impact in changing the lives of these businesses and also in the economic fabric back home in Sri Lanka. I want to give a quick shout out to the two main mentorship leads that helped execute this GRIT program flawlessly, Meena Lakshman and Aruni Muruganathan in the room today. So a big thank you to both of you. Thank you. Thank you, Meenaka, and thank you, Arnie. I want to keep the applause going for our entire TVZ team. These are the faces that do all of the work to not only for today's event, for the entire cohort. If I can ask each of them, when I mention your name, to please just stand up and wave to the crowd and stay standing. Of course, we have Mohan Markandair, who's a great partner of mine in hosting this event. Mohan, thank you. We have Ruben Jainendran, our events coordinator. Ruben, where are you? Thank you. We have Vishnu Ravidasan, our partnerships director. We have Rishi Bhaskaran, our sponsorships director. We have Dr. Meena Lakshman, our mentorship director. And we have Vaitiki that wasn't able to make with us as well. Thank you all so much for everything that you do. We simply wouldn't be here today without you. This next slide shows how you can stay in touch with TVZ and get connected for all of our updates. You can pull out your smartphones now and scan these QR codes to follow us on our different channels. If scanning the Discord link will take you directly into the app that you'll have to download, and you can access our community chat to stay up to date with everything we have going on, hear from the founders, our mentors, ask any questions you may have, and just participate in our growing community. I'd also like to give a big thank you to all of our sponsors for supporting TVZ. Many have been with us from our very first inaugural year, and we are happy to have many new sponsors join this year. None of this would be possible without you. This year, in this current economic climate, it was very challenging for us to even host and run this event. We almost weren't able to pull it off, but thankfully, due to some last-minute generous sponsors that were able to join us, we managed to make it all work. So a big thank you to all of these sponsors. I'd like to also thank Honorable Minister Gary Anandasangari for joining us today. We appreciate your support in being here. So, how can you continue to help support the Tamil Venture Zone? So if you have any capacity to become a sponsor, please reach out to myself, Mohan Anna, or Rishi, and we'll be happy to have that conversation. Even if the firm that you work at, if they have any capacity to provide community sponsorship, and we're not just supporting Tamil people, not just supporting Sri Lanka, we're supporting the Canadian for this nation's future, and that's exactly what we're doing. So it's a great program that benefits all. So please consider that. schedule, we have a format that could fit you. You can buy from our founders. Many are in the room today, so you could see how you can support their business. Internally, we're looking at other ways we can continue to showcase the founders in our alumni cohorts and this current cohort. So we'll be putting some sort of directory online. Feel free to go through there and look at Tamil-run businesses that you can buy and help support. Spreading awareness. I know as many great people are in this room today and have joined our program so far. I know there is a ton of other Tamil entrepreneurs across the GTA that have never even heard of the Tamil Venture Zone. And that's where we really need everyone in this room and online help and support to just tell a friend, tell at least 5 people you know about the Tamil Venture Zone. We're on all the social media platforms. We have a website, tamilventurezone.com. And all of our services are completely free, and you do not have to be at any stage to join our program. You could just have an idea and want to learn how to grow and execute, or you can have a fully developed MVP model that you are now fundraising and wanting to take it to the next stage. We help everyone from start to finish, right? So you can please share with your network. And lastly, think about how you can help make any types of connections. You may not have the exact answer that a mentor needs at this moment, but you may know someone in your network that could be the missing link. So even if you can form that connection, that would be a great help. So thank you all for today. We're going to jump into the pitch competition now, the moment we're all here for. So I hope you're excited. I'll pass it back to Kumada now. Thank you.
What Gobi said, it's profound, even for those in the room who have families and kids. When you take part in these programs and you tell your children, you've got 2 beautiful girls in the front, and they feel connected to their homeland and where their roots are from. And it really is a sense of identity, so everyone really grows in the process. So now let's get the party started, okay? We're gonna have 2 mini pitch competitions today. One for the Canadian founders, this is decided today, and one for the Sri Lankan founders. Now, each presenter will have 3 minutes to present their pitch, followed by 2 minutes of Q&As with our panel of judges. We're excited to have 5 contestants from Sri Lanka participate today virtually. They have all competed in a virtual competition last weekend and are eagerly awaiting to find out who won via our live stream broadcast today. The judges have already selected the Sri Lankan winners. However, we will be showing a recording of their pitch along with the judges' Q&A for you all to get a good sense of their business. Now, after our first 5 pitches in the competition, we will take a short break, which will be followed by the remaining 5 pitches rather. Then, as our judges are deliberating and the selecting of our winners is done, we will have an insightful panel discussion on scaling with discipline from a group of successful entrepreneurs who will inspire everyone in this room. So first, let's meet our judges. This year, we are joined by 3 very esteemed professionals who are breaking barriers in their respective industries. Our judges for today are Umesh Valapuram. Umesh is a finance executive. Let's give him a round of applause. Where is he in the room? There's Umesh Uncle. Okay. He is a finance executive with over 20 years of experience in corporate development, investing, mergers, and acquisitions. He is known as a multidisciplined individual who can effectively direct a variety of strategic initiatives in a fast-paced, challenging, and dynamic environment. I have known him for decades plus. He is one of the kindest people in the world, and we're really lucky to have him here. Speaking of which, Nikki Sababadi, she is our second judge today. She is the Chief Human Resources Officer at Georgian, a multi-billion-dollar VC asset management firm. She not only has flawless hair, she is a flawless human being, very inspiring, accomplished woman who makes everybody feel very welcome, and it is a real skill. So a little bit more about her. In her role, she oversees the firm's talent strategy, culture, and organizational development and human capital initiatives. With over 20 years of executive experience in 2022 by Women We Admire, included in the Global 100 Executives in HR by HRD Magazine in 2021, and featured among the top HR executives in Canada by the Globe and Mail in 2020. There will be a quiz at the end of this, so please, I hope everyone is listening. All right, and then finally, least but not least, Scott Syria. Scott, hi, Scott, okay. Scott's in the back, he's gonna make his way to the front. With over 2 decades of experience in the financial services industry, Scott Syria has become a trusted advisor to entrepreneurs, startup founders, executives, and high net worth individuals navigating complex financial landscapes. Scott brings a rare depth of expertise in wealth management, risk mitigation, and strategic financial planning. I'd also like to take a minute and thank the 3 judges that evaluated our Sri Lankan finalists last weekend. They are Manjula Selvaraja. She is a CBC Radio 1. In her former role, she was vice president of marketing at a Toronto-based tech startup called Eloquia, which was acquired by Oracle. Manjula an engineering degree from Queen's University and loves talking about the tech ecosystems, startups, and innovation. Next is Rishani Vettivale. She is the founder and principal lawyer of Vettivale Law Professional Corporation, a boutique real estate law firm practicing in Scarborough. Rishani practices in the areas of real estate law, wills, power of attorneys, and corporate commercial law. During the course of her practice, Rishani handles a variety of corporate matters and regularly advises small businesses in terms of corporate structure. And finally, Krishan Sundaralingam, CPA, CA, LPA, and is the founder and director of Sundaralingam Professional Corporation, a boutique accounting, taxation, and business advisory firm that has been serving individuals, private corporations, and not-for-profit organizations for over 23 years. Thank you so much to all of our judges for lending their time and mentoring our founders. Sorry about that. Okay. So we're going to kick things off now. First, round 1 is going to include the brilliant minds behind the pitches, of course. These are 10 finalists that have advanced from the semi-final round of a competitive pool of applicants for their originality, execution, and potential to make a real difference. Each finalist will have 3 minutes to pitch, followed by a Q&A session with our judges. Now, our first finalist is Canadian-based Prithvi Wiloshan of Convene. And make your way to the stage. Okay. Most CTOs and engineering leads can't tell you which engineer is 2 weeks from burnout or which project is blocking your next hire until it's too late. Convene provides engineering leaders at fast-growing startups with the insights they need to manage their teams effectively. Okay, gentlemen, take it away.
Hi, I'm Prithvi, and this is Willow, my co-founder. We're both McMaster University students, and for the last 8 months, we've been building Convene. So Convene is an AI-powered engineering intelligence platform. And I want to share that in addition to being in TVZ, we're also in DMZ Basecamp with the opportunity to pitch for around $30,000 in a few months. And we're also in the Startup Survivor by The Forge, where we've actually acquired $10,000 in funding, and we have the chance to pitch for $15,000 in a few months. So this is the reality. There we go. This is the reality. Engineering leaders are flying blind. By engineering, I mean software engineering. So 2/3 of tech leaders say there's skill gaps growing in their teams, and they're aware of that. And 3/4 have abandoned projects because they don't have the right people with the right skills. And when key engineers leave those organizations, massive amounts of information is leaving with them. And there's a cost associated with that. We're looking at around $20,000 per engineer per month you're onboarding, and replacing someone costs 2 times their salary. So this is a real issue. And this is where Convene comes in. Convene gives engineering managers and leaders insights into their team's skills and capabilities, where knowledge gaps exist, and who's ready for growth.
And this is how it works. You start off by connecting your GitHub account and your Linear account with Slack integration on the way. AI then analyzes your code, and leaders see skill maps where gaps exist and optimal project matches. 1.5 billion. That's our total addressable market. We got this number by taking the 30,000 tech companies with 20 plus engineers, which is our ICP, multiplied by our annual contract value of 30,000 Canadian. And according to Gartner, software engineering intelligence platforms have an adoption rate of 5 to 50% by 2027. This is our current pricing model. Currently, we have 3 tiers of pricing: self-serve, team, and enterprise. Self-serve is our free tier coming with limited features. Team is for our ICP from 10 to 20 engineers, and enterprise is for custom contracts and a bigger company, multiple teams.
So why do we win in this space? Well, 3 main reasons. The first reason is we're the first to be building in this space. We're the first to be answering who can. Secondly, there's dual value. So yes, the leaders get clarity into their engineers, but engineers, they're able to build a roadmap on skills that they can use to progress and improve their skills and upskill within the organization. And thirdly, everything's automatic. There's no manual upkeep. Convene runs in the background. Again, I want to hammer the point that we're operating in a completely different dimension. All our competitors, they're focused on velocity, code quality, hard-coded metrics, but what we're answering is completely different. We're answering who can, and we're showing that, and we're measuring those skills. I want to thank you for your attention, and our booth is right over there, so happy to share more information at the end of this event. And if you want to check out our product, you can check it out at getconvene.com. Thank you.
Gentlemen, very good presentation. One of the things when I evaluate a startup is the ability to pivot, because the AI world has been changing quite a bit, and it can change over the next 5 years quite drastically. So when you are thinking building a business model, what are the challenges you are expecting to face over the next 5 years, and how do you expect to pivot to be able to stay ahead of the game?
That's a great question. So I think we all know that AI usage is increasing and more companies are embracing AI, and our product is focused on here. So with AI usage increasing, the pivot here is really, in addition to using AI, if you're using AI to code, that's a skill set in itself, right? It shows how good you're prompting and makes sense. So if you're just writing really bad prompts and you're pushing out code, it's going to give you a bad score regardless. So to answer your question, adapting with AI and pulling that into our metrics is how we pivot.
Great, really liked it. In terms of this issue has been in your offering that looks very different than another, or I guess another company that is doing kind of the same thing. What are you offering that looks so different? I know you talked about it being automated and everything is. Why would I pick you and pick this product over something different? What's the moat that differentiates from someone else?
I would say our moat is we're able to, so we connect other project activity tools, we pull all that data, but our moat's what we do with that data afterwards. So the analysis that we do and the results we show them, it's very quantitative. So if you pull a skill like Python or JavaScript or any other software language, we assign a score based on all the data we've pulled. So being able to quantitatively see those numbers is something that no one else in this space is doing. And it's a very good indicator for the manager to see that, but also see the trends of how skills are going up or down. And in addition to that, managers have on their dashboard side, they can compare different engineers and see how skills are moving. So kind of our moat is really how we're presenting the data. We're really quantitatively showing them numbers.
I think the presentation was really good. I like the way that it sounds, and it's clear and coherent to even non-technology people like myself. A lot of those words I've never heard before, but I understand the business side of things. What's your strategy to get, so you're talking to a potential customer, what's your strategy to get the money from column A, which is likely an HR expense, into column B, which is a technology expense? How do you convince a company to go from one side to the other? How do you show them that that's the gap?
Sure. I can start this, and if you want to add on, you can add on later. The main thing we want to focus on with this product is that it's not a surveillance tool or any sort of tool that HR would feel like they need to involve themselves in. Really, the idea here is project staffing. So how we came up with this idea is we're all, we all have internships and we're all being put onto projects that, to be honest with you, we have no clue what's going on, and we're not the right people for this. That wastes time for us, but also for the manager, and that there's a cost associated with that. So really the main idea here is for engineering teams, when you're creating projects and you're trying to figure out who to assign for the project, for quick moving, high performing teams, it's easy now to see who's the best for this project. And then you can get those projects moving and start saving costs.
Do you guys have customers? Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Right now, we're doing customer discovery. We don't have any paying customers, but the process to get into, let's say, Startup Survivor, DMZ, it took a lot of customer discovery calls, and we're talking to engineering leaders, software engineering leaders, on like a regular basis to figure out like what to better shape our product. We're finding design partners, so that's our next step. We're going to be finding design partners, and then once we shape the product to a point where like we're happy with and they're happy with, we'll put it out to market. But currently our MVP is out on our website.
And if I can quickly add to that, like Willow mentioned, the design partner is the next big phase that we're taking, and that's really, we're trying to connect with smaller size companies that aren't necessarily our ICP, but they're able to integrate the product within their organization, and we can collect data points from that and grow the product and build it around what the market really wants. And this should be something that we'd be doing for free. We can take that cost temporarily because the margins are, it's the software, so we only, it's 20% cost. Yeah.
Terrific. Great job. Okay, excellent. Again, that's Prithvi Prabhu and Wiloshan Thomas of Convene. Congratulations. Great presentation, guys. Next. Academy. This is a Canadian-based company. Calvian Academy, hear that? Is a small group online French program for students and close learning gaps through structured curriculum-aligned instruction.
Bonjour tout le monde. My name is Keepana Sudhavan, and I'm the founder of Calvian Academy. Calvian Academy is a program for Ontario learners from grades 4 to 8. After 12 years as an Ontario educator, I've learned that students struggle with French not because of ability, but because they struggle first. follows. Ontario students need grade 9 French to graduate. However, one standards, despite having had 600 hours of core French instruction, this problem remains unresolved, and the market opportunity is 600,000 students large. That opportunity is for Calvin Academy. We offer a French specialist-led enhancement program delivered in pods developed by an Ontario certified teacher, with proprietary resources and following the French curriculum. Identifies confidence as a foundation for French success, and Calvi Academy is the only French specialist program that provides confidence and proficiency before grade 9. We're all pipeline of 12 students, converted 70% from trial to enrollment, and enrolled 4 learners across different subscription plans. We've seen a our annual pod model creates recurring revenue, which means that one full pod of annual students can generate 8 times the revenue potential compared to our first quarter. Our model is built around pods of 5 students, creating high-touch French enhancement, and we scale easily with a 3-to-1 pod-to-instructor ratio. Students can enroll and they follow a 40-week and 5-year learning pathway. And because our programming is delivered online, students get access to high-quality French instruction from the comfort of their own home. We grow through direct-to-parent marketing, school partnerships, and community involvement. I'm an Ontario certified teacher and a French specialist supported by mentors across UTC Cecile, Tamil Venture Zone, Ascend Tamil Women Rising, and networks across schools and communities. After this event, I'll be headed to the Durham Multicultural Festival as well, where we're hosting a week. Today, I'm asking for $10,000 in community introductions to build 2 pods, to secure 2 pods subscriptions, and to scale our marketing, and also grow our pipeline 5-fold. Because at Calvin Academy, we build confidence and proficiency before grade 9. Because achievement, it follows. Thank you.
I wish I had met you a few years ago. We have a grade 9 that could have used you. I think we burned out his French. So.
I hear that a lot.
You might. So that actually leads me to my question. How do you, in terms of convincing the parents, so we've had 3 kids go through this, but in terms of convincing the parents or the educators from the grade 3-4 level, how do you convince them of the potential problem coming down the road that this could be something, or this should be something that they should be looked at?
Well, every student needs that grade 9 French to graduate, but you can't have those skills unless you have that middle school grade 4 to 8 enrichment. And so the way I target it, I've been teaching grade 4 to 8 for about 12 years, and I'm constantly talking about that foundation is what gives them the confidence and the success to be able to achieve in grade 9 for graduation. So mostly it's the curriculum from grade 4 to 8 is actually very, very repetitive. It's all spiraling the same curriculum. If they get enough access to that, they're able to just get to grade 9 and just crush it.
Great job, by the way. There are so many, tutoring companies, and you see them pop up all the time, right? How are you different, and how, as a parent, how would I look at it differently than any other one? Because it's sort of to the plain sort of eye, it just seems like just another tutoring service. And so what is it that you're offering that actually looks different, and why am I going to go with you? What is that value differentiator for a parent?
Great question. There are a lot of things that are available right now. What differentiates me specifically is whoever's standing on this stage right now. I am specifically a confidence building enterprise, and we don't just do worksheets, we focus on interactive workshops. So in my 45-minute session, I go through the listening, your child, not just in report card grade, but in the way they approach the language with Calvin Academy.
Ethan, I love the passion you bring to education. That's wonderful to see from coming from a school teacher. The challenge with, a person-driven, like a tuition model, is the ability to scale up. Because you do a fantastic job. I mean, we would love to have 20 Keetanas to be able to do that. So how do we make sure, how do you make sure the consistency, the quality of it, that any individuals, as you are scaling up, how do you ensure that that quality is maintained?
That's a fair question. I myself am not going to be able to scale up and teach hundreds of students. However, Calvin Academy is not just my ability to teach, my ability to speak with students, but I create my own proprietary resources. I develop 40 weeks of curriculum, and each week comes with 12 lessons that I'm creating based on that curriculum. So whoever that trains with me is the same model of training that I use is what teacher candidates currently use when they want to become teachers in school. They shadow a teacher, they see how the lesson goes, they follow the lesson plan, and that's the same model I would use in order to scale. And currently my model right now allows for a 3-to-1 taught to instructor ratio, where I can scale easily, be able to still check their quality, and still deliver the same amount. Okay, thank you.
How incredible is that? And to see these two little girls watching on, I mean, I love everything about that presentation, the idea, and also your community that you brought with you. Okay, now, we have a founder from Sri Lanka, Roman Anojan Figueroa, sorry, apologies. Okay, with Itself Automation. Itself Automation is an AI-powered rehab platform for better recovery and remote care. And as mentioned, we're going to watch the video.
Good day to you all. My name is Roman Figueroa. I'm co-founder and CEO of Itself Automation Private Limited. So we are building Sri Lanka's first digital infrastructure for physiotherapy rehabilitation. Let me quickly get into the problem we are solving. So there are 70% of patients, they are failing to follow the prescribed home exercise during the rehabilitation process. And patients spending more than 99% of their recovery time outside the clinical supervision, which is their home or their working place. And 90% of clinics still rely on manual reports and follow-ups of the physiotherapy rehabilitation patients. And Sri Lanka faces limited rehabilitation capacity. That is one of the notable problems that we identify. So the problem that we are solving through this, we are providing a clinic growth platform for the clinic owners where they can have the online appointment booking and having a clinic dashboard and back office for them and patient records management. Similarly, we are providing a patient engagement and retention system that helps remote progress updates, exercise sharing, and treatment history tracking. And the AI-powered rehabilitation ecosystem, our key goal development, that is rehab gamification and AI progress monitoring and rehab devices. So the first demonstration, this is a clinic growth platform as a booking platform to help the clinic owners to connect with physiotherapists and patients. And this is the progress update system which can be done remotely for the patients who are connecting even in the And the rehab gamification helps the patients to rehabilitate even staying at home. And the market opportunity, it's a 24 billion market altogether. The service addressable around 5.8 billion, which is under the private and urban clinic sustainability. And the service obtainable market for our rehab beds is 480 million. And the business model comes for the clinic basics, standard, and premium. I have mentioned the prices in here. And the milestone starting from the first year targeting 10 to 20 clinics up to 300 clinics in 2029 and improving step by step in the year, having rehab games, progress tracking in coming year, and end with the rehab home program scale. So we can get up to the 150 million to 250 million per year as revenue in the end of 2029. And the go-to market is completely starting with the clinics, converting to the subscription for the patients and physiotherapists and the clinics, and then bringing the patients through the clinics and add progress tracking and other rest of the features, and scale with partnerships. Competitive-wise, we are very unique from the existing applications like eChannelink, Doc990, PhysiTrack, and Sport Health in Sri Lanka. And mainly, the traction-wise, we have completed our MVP, and AA progress tracking prototype has been done, and rehab game prototype has been done already. We have validated the problem with the 50+ surveys in real patients and the real physiotherapists and the physiotherapy clinic owners. And the clinic discussions advancing, we almost get the pilot partners to Lanka Physio Clinic and Mr. Physio, and getting into the advanced discussion underway with our Physio Clinic in Sri Lanka. The investment ask is $100,000 for 10% of equity, and planning to achieve the milestone in 18 to 24 months by having 50 clinics and 5,000 patients, and potential exits regularly as usual, healthcare tech, insurance tech, hospitals, and digital health departments. And the use of funds has been worked on accordingly to mainly focus on product development, clinic onboarding, and then operation, etc. This is my team who are behind the backbone of this project, and this is my business advisors and mentors from the 2023 establishment time period, and I have medical advisors who are helping me hold this project throughout. Thank you for listening.
Great job, Rowan. At this point, do we have any questions from the judges? Feel free to unmute and ask.
We can ask if Gobi, is that okay? I'm Krishani, I'll go ahead. You can hear me okay? Okay, Rowan, Arjun, thank you so much for that. A really good presentation, thank you. You got us through so much really quickly. One of the things I was really trying to get a sense of is, what is the business advantage to them? Certainly improved patient recovery, but I'm trying to figure out for that money that they're going to spend, what is the return? Like where does the return come from? Is it increased business? Is it, just give me a sense of that.
Sure, that's a good question. Actually, we are targeting our business into the B2B model. We are getting this business to the clinics. To the clinics, we are trying to cover this entire system as an ecosystem, starting from them by providing them a back office support, and from their side, they are going to connect individual physiotherapists and the clinic's patients. So we are going to help them to increase the patients' visit every single time. And what usually happens is, technically, the patients are coming to the clinic and the follow-up going to be missed out for certain reason. Here it's going to be automated. Patients get the alert, clinic owner get the alert, physiotherapists receive the same. So the fund-wise, we are targeting this as a service model, and from the practice,
so I'm just going to interrupt you for a second. Sorry, Anita, what I meant is that why would they invest in this, in the solution? Is it for simply, like the businesses themselves, is it because this is a way for them to make more money? Is there an increased revenue stream?
Yeah, exactly. Because for the clinics, for the per day wise, there are 10 booking cancellation happens. So simply if I have the 3,000 for the booking number, it comes around 1,30,000 to 40,000. That's being reduced in a monthly basis. So we are going to keep the patients alive to come back again and again to the clinics. We are going to keep the records for their clinic advantage.
Thank you.
Rowan, excellent presentation. Quick question. So you got B2B. How are we going to, is there a plan to go to B2C to the patient? Because are they able to see a lot of this data and tracking and exercises on their mobile phone or their other devices?
Yeah, so actually when I talk about the go-to-market, so in clinic, onboarding the three patients, everyone together, and we will have some X number of patients data. So once the number of clinics getting involved, they are going to directly involve our monitoring and supervision. So the patients going to be treated individually for their advanced features like this stroke games and remote progress update. So clinic is going to be promote this, but the subscription model is for both clinics and the patients.
So the follow-up to that is how affordable it is for the population in Sri Lanka to subscribe from the patient side. I get the business, the clinics, I'm sure they can afford it. What about the patient side?
Yeah, so actually starting from the individual visit for the just a stroke rehabilitation, it's starting from 3,000 in northern region and up to 7,500 per single visit in a Colombo area. So if we have the middle range 4,500 for the private physiotherapy visit, so it's going to be weekly 4 times simply, we can get into the 18 to 20,000 per month. And for the same patient going to be monitored for the entire month, if we can propose that with a 1,500 LKR as a subscription model, is going to be get from clinics to patients, that is far more convincible to the patients.
Thank you.
All right, okay, round of applause. Beautiful, okay, now back to Canada. We have another finalist. This is Lucen Vimmel with Thule. Thule is an AI compliance engineer intended to co-create buildings.
Hello everyone, my name is Vit. I'm the CEO of Thule. I have 2 undergraduate degrees in architecture and a bachelor's in building science. I spent some time working in architecture companies in Toronto and in Australia, and this is probably the only crowd that would really understand this and where I'm talking about, but I was the lead architect for a resort project in Trincote in Sri Lanka. After this project itself, I went to go work for building code offices and then for real estate development firms as well. I spent my entire career working throughout the entire industry, going from one place to another, thinking my pain will be resolved. But as I worked as an architectural professional to a development professional, the same problem existed. So I decided to leave my job and solve the problem for myself. Right now, there's multiple design consultants working together to solve one building. However, they're working in design silos, making thousands of design decisions every single day that go uncoordinated. These uncoordinated design decisions show up in construction and cost projects about 6% of their project value, or about $3 million for an average size project. To solve this issue today, teams manually review their drawings, but the problem is there's thousands of documents. There needs to be 100,000 checks to be done on these documents itself, and there's just way too much data to understand why design decisions were made in the first place. So errors slip through. This is why we're building out Thule. Thule is an AI compliance engineer whose sole goal is to help coordinate projects in real time and to prevent all construction errors from happening. Thule will be hired onto a project like any other consultant and will charge out a percentage of project value and will make sure that it's trained from thousands of past projects. How Thule works is it will be using existing platforms to capture historical project data. That historical project data is used to train our models itself. From there, Thule will assess as teams are designing to see, hey, is your designs compliant to the project regulations? And if so, how does this decision influence the work that other teams are doing? Our advantage in this market is the data that we capture. When we sign up team to our platform itself, the tooling makes it smarter for the next one. This is a massive problem in the industry. About $1.1 trillion is lost to these types of errors in projects. Right now, we have $100,000 in revenue just over the last couple of months. We signed on 3 new customers in the last week. We have $500,000 in our pipeline, and we're projected to grow at a monthly rate of 1.5x once we publicly launch. We are the only team out there that's looking at multiple stakeholders, and that's the only way to solve this problem in this industry. And because we're so deeply ingrained in a project, we can do project-specific risks, not just the generic ones as well. Our strategy right now is we're going to focus on the large to mid-sized architecture teams as we have the distribution channel already mapped out with the largest teams, and then we'll move up the value chain. I myself have 10 years of experience in this industry. I worked in architecture, engineering, and construction before starting a tech startup, and I'm the only founder in the space that has that experience. My co-founder Arpin has 8 years of applied ML research, has developed out startups in the past as well. We also have 3 amazing advisors who have built successful startups in the past or have developed out projects as well, and we're using their playbooks for the distribution channels. We're also VC backed by Hustle Fund, Government Fund, and Ripple Ventures. What we're doing today is we're raising a $1 million pre-seed round to further our mission to build more sustainable, affordable buildings. With this round itself, we will go out and hire more team members, ingest over 1 million past project errors to train our models, and further build out better buildings. Thank you.
Excellent presentation. Looks like certainly a significant issue that is out there in the construction industry. But can you speak to it in terms of, construction can be very complex depending on the project. How can, the compliance model you have, it can be trained for, wide-ranging, complicated construction projects. And also from a risk perspective, what assurances are you giving your customers in terms of, it will meet a lot of the compliance requirements? So.
Yeah, great question. So the first challenge in this industry is the ability for AI to read through architectural drawings, because there's both drawings and text. So the first thing that we built out is a way for it to read through architectural drawings. So using that model itself, we can generalize it to be able to read a lot of different architectural drawings, whether it's a construction team in the States or someone in Toronto itself. We cross-verify that with, say, building codes or project regulations, owner project requirements that are all kind of mapped out within our platform once we onboard a team. And we do that cross kind of examination between the two. So once we have the requirements, we can use our models to look at the drawings itself and then verify it. Sorry, what was your second question? Yeah, so right now, with the teams that we're working with, they're already missing about 1,000 errors per project because it's just going through the reviews and it's kept being slipped away. So the assurance that we give is, hey, even if you can catch one of these errors on your project, your value will be automatically brought back to yourselves. Our platforms will be used right now in the latest stages of construction as you kind of are submitting your drawings, but we put through our system and we catch around 6 to 7% of the errors if it goes through. So there's no risk on the customer itself. It's already mapped out to the values already created for them after this.
Great presentation, by the way. Sounds like you guys have some active clients at the moment. What has been the feedback in terms of, tweaks? What have you learned by sending these folks on, and sort of how have you incorporated that as you build and scale and sort of keep going with this?
Yeah, the feedback is we need more checks to do more building code related compliance and to increase the accuracy of our models. Right now, there's just so much, it's so complex to build out what we're building because you need to train it to understand, hey, this is a toilet on a drawing, or this is a door, and this is a relationship between the toilet and the door, and it's very complex. So we're constantly pushing out more features to get that accuracy as high want more building code features. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, yes, thank you.
Super complicated world. If you look around, even where we're sitting right now, I'm sure that that building over there could have used you at some point. I'm sure you could have thought something about the toilet was installed beside that door instead of across the wall. One of the things that comes to me is this, is your sort of plan, it seems like you're the first to attempt or to gather this kind of ability. Is it like a race to get there before your major competitors do? Like you had a slide with some of the competitors, some of those just being regular AI, like I saw the chat and Claude. What's protecting you down the road, or is it a race to get out and get exited by Ellis Dawn or somebody like that to acquire you? Like what's the next step?
Yeah, good question. So it's there. I guess there's always a race to it, but our competitors right now, there are teams looking at this market, and what they're looking at is more generic checks. What I mean by generic checks is, hey, is your windows large enough to meet your kind of project requirements, or is there a door where it should be? Is there fire protection? But what we're looking at is saying, hey, we're in York University right now. This university needs lighting specific to the classrooms. Based off of those classrooms, this is what the requirements should be, and we assess that. So we go one step deeper by understanding exactly the project requirements and executing that. How we learn that is by historical projects. So this building itself, I wish I knew who developed it out, but I'm sure they did multiple in the past. We can use that information to understand where things have gone wrong, feed it back into the system. So to answer your question, it's about capturing that historical data. That's our power, and that's kind of where we kind of excel as our kind of next step to differentiate from other competitors and also push the boundary.
Thank you so much. Okay, next we have a Sri Lankan-based entrepreneur who is pitching. Sujeevan Vettivelathan of the MediMan. It is a personal healthcare super app that brings healthcare specialists secure EMR management and continuous care into one trusted digital journey for every patient and family.
Good day, everyone. I'm Sujeevan, founder of MediMan from Japan. Healthcare is doctors, hospitals, and patients. But what it still lacks is the continuity. MediMan is building one trusted healthcare platform where every patient's care journey can stay connected. Every family has faced this. We go from doctor to doctor carrying reports, prescriptions, and old files. But doctors do their best, but they often see only the part of the patient's story, and that's a real problem. Healthcare is not just one appointment, it's a journey, and it's fragmented these days. So today, booking apps solve access, but the real healthcare continues after the first appointment. So it moves through from prescriptions to a long-term care. And that's why we built MediMan. MediMan connects online, physical, and continuous care in one platform, so patients can access verified doctors, book consultations, receive digital prescriptions, maintain their own EMR, and manage their family health records in one secure app. So our strategy is practical. In Sri Lanka, many patients still prefer physical doctor visits, and we are meeting patients where they are. Hospitals and clinic bookings become our adoption bridge through this. And for patients and doctors, MediMan supports by bringing in a lot of parallel benefits. So in healthcare, trust is the product. So MediMan is not an open marketplace where anyone can just appear as doctor. So every doctor goes through verification and manual approval process. And we are building MediMan as a serious, compliant, patient-safe healthcare platform. And in global stage, telehealth is growing rapidly, so the opportunity is large. Sri Lanka is our launch market with strong private healthcare usage, growing digital adoption, and a large diaspora community. And Mediman is already beyond the idea stage. We have onboarded 135 plus doctors and signed up 2,000 plus users during this pilot. And we have daily appointment activity around $1,000 early MRR without any marketing. So we are raising $200,000 to move from this pilot to the launch, and the funding will support the development, launch, the team, compliance, and the infrastructure. And I'm building this from Jaffna with 7 years of healthcare industry experience and 5 years of startup execution experience. Mediman is not just a theory, and we are solving a real healthcare problem from Sri Lanka. You can download the Mediman app from both App Store and the Play Store. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Do we have any questions from the judges?
I do. Thanks for the presentation. In Sri Lanka, you got private and public healthcare systems. So how do you integrate this EMR application across the two spaces?
Good question, but as of now, like I am the founder and I am a single person who is doing this. So when it comes to government, it comes with a lot of procedures and a lot of like government dealings and a lot of things. So far we haven't touched upon those things. So if we grow like a platform which we cannot be neglected by anyone, at that point we'll be able to go to that space. So first of all, we need to get a great like market space, meaning is like more users, more consultation on a daily basis, and we have enough of private space here. So just to bring the traction to a very great market, and the revenue has to be grown at a very high level, so that only we can create our own demand. Then that demand will drive us to that scale. I strongly believe in that.
Thank you.
Hi there. So I had a quick question for you as well. I liked your presentation. I found it very clear and easy to understand, which was very nice. Since I know you're at the pilot stage towards the beginning, have you looked into like IP or patent or anything related to intellectual property at this stage yet?
Yes, we have looked into. So everything is in line actually. So that's how we like, because when it comes to like the healthcare concern, it's a huge thing. So in Sri Lanka we can do things, okay, in a case we can do. But when we are expanding to other countries, there's a lot of regulations like HIPAA, GDPR, a lot of things to be considered. So we are in line with everything. So when we start and we launch, we'll be like taking things step by step. And in Sri Lanka we are good because we are registered as a company and we are doing this in legal conditions. So we are good.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll just pop in my question here. So, Niban, thank you so much. That was a really solid presentation. Can you give me a sense of who pays, what they pay for the product? What's your plan around that?
All right.
Do you have a pricing model?
Yeah. So application is very simple. It's like Uber for healthcare. So simply any patient can download their user app. So they can create a profile and they can maintain all their healthcare EMR. Means like they can upload their report and keep it for lifetime. So that's free of cost. And we are adding a lot of more personal healthcare features into the application so that any patient can work on this app like to make their health better and better. And with this app, we have integrated the online teleconsultation like services so that any hospital doctors can come in and display their profile. So patients, whenever they want a consultation done, they can simply book an appointment with that doctor and they can do a teleconsultation. That's easy. With that, we are like we strongly believe in physical appointment bookings as well. So we have a partnership with the hospitals in Sri Lanka.
Okay, I'm going to stop you for a second because I'm asking you about your pricing model, right? And you're telling me how your product works. I'm saying you've told me that the patients themselves get access to the product for free. Are doctors paying a fee for this? Are hospitals? Is that the plan that the doctors and the hospitals will pay or the patients will pay? Patients will pay.
Patients.
Okay, so it's
We're going to take a 5-minute, not a 10-minute break. So please mingle. There's lots